G'day fellas, and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the west side of the map, playing as the Rus, the colour yellow. It's Lucifron 7, and in the northeast corner of the map, in the colour blue, playing as the Rus also, it's Vortex. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Holy Island. We're here watching EGC TV's Golden League 2, which has now officially arrived, and we've reached the late stages of the first stage. I guess you could call that the later rounds of the first stage. These two players have gone through this event undefeated, the only two players to do so. And now, of course, in classic Roman style, we make them fight each other to the death. Who is going to come out victorious? That is going to be the question. This is game number 2 in this series. If you don't want to have the results spoiled of the first game, then make sure you go back and watch that game. It's the one immediately uploaded before this one. Otherwise, we've got spoilers. It was Lucifron. Lucifron is up in this series 1-0 against his brother, Vortex. And these guys have just been taking their gameplay to another level. We saw some pretty cool stuff in the last game. It changed the way I think about the English mirror. Actually, the first English mirror I got to get a look at, especially at the top level. So that was very exciting to watch. We got to see the point-blank longbow being used quite well also. So I'm curious to see what new things we're going to see today, because these two players, they've been practicing in a silo, and this is something that, you know, I've talked about a couple of times before, but there's been a break in the competitive community for quite some time since our last competitive event. And as a result, everyone's just been practicing for Golden League 2 in their own little worlds. Vortex and Lucifron, well, they've been sharing the same world. And it's only at this point that their worlds collide. Even though they share the same world, but you get the point. There's the parallel worlds and all that good stuff. But anyway, it's good seeing them throw each other's strategies out there, because they know everything, right? Like, that's just it. You've battled up against your brother. You know all of his weaknesses. You know all of his strengths, and you know his strategies. And now it just comes down to who is the better player on the day. And you know, sometimes it's not always the best player who is, but. Anyway, let's talk a bit about this matchup. This is a Rus mirror. The last time we got to see Rus mirrors, we were on Boulder Bay. You guys remember those days, weren't they lovely? Oh gosh, I'm so glad those days are gone. Rus on water is still very, very strong. And it's curious that they're both gone, the Rus here. I'm curious, I suspect we're probably going to be seeing double Kremlin coming out here. And for me, the big question is, are you able to forgo water and look to go heavier on land? Is that even an opportunity, or is that even an option for these players? Or is it just like the person who loses water loses the game? Because I don't know which way it's going to go. I feel like 9 times out of 10, the person who loses water loses the game. But we have seen some outliers. We have seen some anomalies. Notably, Donardi. Donardi infamously once did a little island getaway, I guess you could call it, down here on the corner, doing a little bit of French trade on the water. But, of course, those are our exceptions. And I remember another game being played. I think it must have been a Chinese game, 3TC Song Dynasty, something like that. They were the good old days, weren't they? But now, looks like we've got our Kremlin coming down from Vortex. Vortex, of course, going to be looking to try and buff up the land, or the wood gathering that you've got. Remember that you do increase your wood gathering by 20% through the Kremlin, so you're not going to have to drop down your wooden fortress. So that's one key thing. You save a little bit of wood there. Of course, you don't have access to the Golden Gate for those tickets, but my oh my, this is a quick age up. What's the difference between these two? We've got 2 fishing boats on one side of the map. Over on the other side of the map, we've got 3 with a 4th one in queue. So a little bit more of an economic focus coming in from Vortex. And Lucifron is going to spot that out. He's going to see, okay, well, you're going quite heavy on that age up. That's a very quick age up as well. So what damage can Vortex really look to do to Lucifron here, considering that age up is so late? And it doesn't really seem like he's going for... Never mind. I take it all back. 14 vills. He's got 14 vills on the age up. Jeez, don't mind this. Hey, we're in a little bit of a rush here. 14 vills on the Dark Age landmark. I don't think I've ever seen this many villagers before. I feel like we're watching something out of Gold League, right? Not Golden League, but, you know, the Gold Leagues. It really does feel like, you know, it's very rare that you get to see this many vills on a landmark, but I guess Lucifron's taken this threat seriously to his fishing economy. So I think the question's going to be whether Vortex is able to actually pull out damage before Lucifron's able to react, and we can see now he is going to have 2 Logic Galleys beginning to make their way in. Double dock is going to mean that these galleys shouldn't be able to punish these fishing boats, and they do the little drop off. You can see right there, dropped off 116 food. They make their way back towards the docks. And they're going to be fine for the moment. He pulls them back in to safety. He's trying his best to keep them gathering, but finds that the galleys down here on the south side are able to keep them docked up, of course. The ones to the north side now going to be harassed. He's going to be careful not to lose them. Keep in mind, these fishing boats are worth about 2 villages, so they're very, very expensive. Not expensive, I mean, they are expensive, but they're very valuable. They're very valuable ships, and you want to avoid losing them. And look at this, we got the militia now on the backside looking to come in. And of course, the Kremlin going to be able to hold down this position and causes some idle time. Obviously, the militia do eventually go down, and now a lodger attack ship, aka a Hulk, a springled ship, going to be able to repel this position. And we do see there are 4 fishing boats that do remain. Remember, these were the fishing boats of Vortex. He loses one. Second one going to be under pressure. Now back towards the base. More fishing boats going to be coming through for Vortex. Where does he go from here? That is going to be the question. Double Kremlin. I love this Kremlin. I can't believe that Kremlin has come so far. Since the old patch. I mean, we looked at a landmark that would never be made before, and now you've got a landmark that is made on every single water map for the Rus. Such a powerful landmark. That extra 175 wood. What is that? Is that a road? Where is that road going to? I don't think I've ever seen that before at all. Is it on this Kremlin as well? Oh, it is too. Look at that. There's a little road. You can kind of... Is it water? It looks like water. What happened to that Kremlin? It's got a road on out the front of it. Or is that water as well? That's definitely... It looks like planks back to back to back. I don't think I've ever seen that before. What is that? What is the go with that? Anyway. Let's talk more about this game. Focus less on the minutiae of it. Drongo. Lodger attack ship. Going to be moving out. Keep in mind he's got access to man the sails, which will increase his movement speed so that he doesn't have to worry about demo ships for 10 seconds. That's it. But then you got to worry about demo ships after that. Galley and the attack ship coming out. He's heading straight towards the enemy. On land, it looks like the militia have finally made their way out. He's got 3 tickets that he's used. And now got to begin looking to apply pressure towards that gold on the front. Beautiful timing here. Enemies only just started to gather up this gold. So really nicely timed. Fishing boats. Nowhere to be seen on this open ocean. Everybody tucked away nice and safe. And now counter militia going to be called out. But keep in mind, 6 militia against 4. And not only that, but... Well, the militia can just ignore the enemy militia. You've got more health than what the villagers have gotten. We see exactly that. Villager number 1 going to be going down. He looks to try and surround the second villager. Villager's almost... Second vill goes down. But he almost turns around and kind of says, like, hey, I'll fight you. And then he realizes quickly that that's probably not the right decision. 40 seconds remaining on these militia. He could look to bring them around towards the wood line. There's quite an opening down here. Keep in mind that Vortex has only got the 4 militia. So even if he goes up against them here, he's going to make a nice little defense. But depending on how good the micro is, he might not even be able to pick up a single militia here just because he's outnumbered so badly. Looks like he will get 1. So he's going to be able to turn this advantage into more harassment. And that's exactly what he looks to do. Scout down here on the south side. A little bit of a repel on the water. And militia wars are going well. We do see them all drop down on the ground. That's going to leave 30 seconds for Vortex's militia, but obviously they're not going to be able to get over to the other side of the map in time before they... Oh my lord, that's a lot of vills. Okay, we do have we've got a stable, but there's a part of me that thinks whenever I see that many vills, I'm like, this is going to be a castle age, right? But I guess we've already been in that position before. Look at the fishing boats. Oh my lord, how many fishing boats are we on? 9 fishing boats for Lucifron? Never mind. All right, let's reassess in a minute's time because someone made Vortex angry and he decided to make a lot of military on water. That is a total of 5 galleys, 4 springled ships. You can see him trying to get off some shots here. Springled ships and the galleys working together in tandem. Going to be able to take those out. You've got to be watching for the demo ships at this point. Knight's going to be moving on that top side. We see them being repelled away by the militia of Vortex. He actually is going to use 2 more tickets. You can see he's done a great job in chasing down that Knight. Looks like it will go down. Now the fishing boat's going to be under threat. It looks like a number of them are trying to transform. Whether he's going to have luck or not is a different matter. And Vortex is looking to put on the hurt. The defense is coming in nice. Remember, those docks are always going to be providing assistance in the form of passive healing. And indeed, Vortex is repelled despite having what seem to be almost unstoppable numbers. We'll head back up towards that gold vein and see how Lucifron is doing as he tries to push his brother off gold. Make sure that we switch it over to the income per minute tab so you guys are able to see exactly how many resources these guys are pulling in. At the moment, Lucifron's up 4 villages. The real money maker here is going to be the fishing boats, though. How many fishing boats are we talking? He's turned quite a few of them. So 5 fishing boats versus 4. So not a big difference. Let's do a quick... I mean, we can add this up, but I think adding up the income per minute doesn't really mean much at this stage because you're getting so many idle villagers. It doesn't really what's the word? It doesn't really represent what the actual what the actual incomes are because these villagers which haven't been working for 40 seconds, it's not going to count them at all, or it'll only count a little bit of their time. So yeah, I don't think it's a valuable metric at this point in the game. Maybe when we get a little bit later and raids become less impactful. Demo ships, they're big. Not going to be able to make too many connections though. And still, Lucifron out here on the ocean, looking to try and push his enemy off the fish. Doesn't find too much luck though. Vortex now up 2 villagers. You can see a total of 5 worker kills at this point. Night on night action. Vortex nor Lucifron really looking for that castle age still. Quite happy to just play it out in the feudal age with the stables. One of the things that I think that the developers need to improve on is the readability of Rus ships. To me, they all look the same. I can't tell the difference between a galley, an attack ship, a fishing boat. Like, they all look the same. Obviously, the fishing boat's got the net on it. But other than that, it's hard to tell the difference. The fire ship, some of them have got fire on them. The other ones don't. Like, here, you can tell that's a fire ship. I know that one. I know that that's got fire on it. But a lot of these, like, I think this one's the galley because it's moving faster, but these ones are the attack ships. But to me, they look almost identical. What's the difference between them? I think this one's got, like, a little stabby thing at the front, whereas these don't. If that's, like, the main thing, then we probably got to fix that up. So, yeah, I would suggest, like, maybe a little bit more readability from that perspective. But other than that, it seems fine. Even as long as the demo ships have got that fire glowing, it's going to be fine. Nice little shot there. Manages to hit one of them. At the same time, we've got a counterattack on that gold once again. He's moved up to that gold in the north. And now at the same time, Lucifron going to be looking to push Vortex into the corner. Good little defense here. He looks like he might have turned a fair few fishing boats into his galleys. Able to snipe down those demo ships. Not going to have to worry about them. And now continuing to repel his opponent. His brother. Look at the resources that we got stacking up here. I'm starting to think maybe it might be time for an age 3. I mean, what do you really get from age 3? Realistically, I mean, you get horse archers. You can bring the horse archers out and about. Can't really do much damage here. Maybe you can look to hit in on this angle. I don't know if age 3 necessarily brings a lot in this matchup. You can't, like, men-at-arms aren't going to do anything. So that doesn't really fix you. Yeah, I don't know what Castle Age brings. Obviously, it's nice to have the Castle Age, though, right? Like, but it doesn't really do a whole lot. Militia moving out. Looking to try and cause a bit of havoc here in the middle. Now, once again, that's just a routine out over on the water here. Slowly moving up the demo ships. Yet to really meet any severe ending just yet. Like, it's been very not even hit and miss. It's been very miss and miss with the demo ships. But I'm starting to worry about Lucifron on water. I mean, we've said this before. Lucifron looks like he's been outnumbered before. When it comes to the military pop, he's well and truly outnumbered, but the demo ships do go down. Gosh, my camera still doing that thing. You know, it's been doing that for months. Actually, I'm going to say years. It's been doing that for years. And I still don't know how to fix it. I don't know why it does it. It does this little skippy thing. All right, the numbers are all of a sudden looking good. Look at this. Look how quickly they're able to turn it. Tell you what, Rus is so powerful on water. The fact that they can just pick up and change everything at a moment's notice. And now on land, we've got 2 knights moving in on the gold. This is actually big. Lucifron not noticing. He's out here fighting, but this is like a game-ending kind of raid. If you're able to take out these villagers, look at the worker kills that are coming through. That's 5. That's 6. He just keeps losing him. He doesn't even have textiles. That's actually big. We're watching this because this is the game-ending moment. I mean, this doesn't matter. These guys are going back and forth on water for 14 minutes. That ain't going to change. But hold on a minute. We've got raids on both sides here. I think as he finally realized, oh my lord, they're all dead. All of the bodies on the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. They have dropped down, and Vortex just kind of he walks away. He walks away. I feel like I was embracing my inner Lidicor there. I tell you what, I miss casting with Lidicor. I actually got to cast with Lidicor on EGC TV last week. That was great fun. It's been wonderful getting to cast with Lidicor again. And if you want to go see more cast by Lidicor, 15 GMT Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you go check it out. EGC TV. I'll leave a link in the description. But let's get back to the action because we got nonsense all over this map. We got militia against militia. I tell you what, militia are so cheap. Do you reckon they get nerfed? I feel like they're pretty good, man. Like when you see the pressure that you're putting out with even just 2 militia. And the fact that you're only paying 20 food for each of them? Like, that's kind of wild that they're that cheap. Oh, my lord. Look at the amount of units that are moving up here. Lucifron's behind on the economy, so he knows he's got to start making mogul moves right now. Does he potentially look towards that north side? Night-on-night action. South side. Vortex, I tell you what, if there's a game he's going to win, this definitely looks like it. His position is increasingly good. 4 more sprinkled ships coming out for Lucifron. He's trying his best to defend, and it is going to be a good game. He does call it, so that is the game-ending raid right there. I can't help but feel like the bodies did indeed hit the floor, and that was the end of the game. So, fellas, that's game 2 done. We're going to be heading into game number 3. Don't go anywhere. It'll be coming right up for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.